Uche, the little orphan boy in the village of Benbe. In the heart of the great African plains, nestled between two mighty rivers, lay the village of Benbe. It was a land of fertile soil, whispering bamboo forests, and the laughter of children echoing through the air. But among these happy voices was one little boy whose laughter had faded long ago, Uche, the orphan boy. Uche had lost his parents to a terrible sickness when he was just 5 years old. The village elders had taken him in, but no family truly claimed him as their own. He did odd jobs for food, carrying firewood for old women, tending to the goats of the wealthier families, and fetching water from the river. The other children played with toys made of clay and wood, while Uche watched from afar, his belly often empty, his feet calloused from walking barefoot across the dusty paths. The villagers saw him, but did not truly see him. They believed an orphan had no strength, no name worth remembering. But Uche, despite his loneliness, carried a secret in his heart, a dream to become great, to prove his worth to the world. One day, while gathering firewood at the edge of the forest, Uche overheard two hunters speaking in hushed tones. "The lion of Benbe has returned," one man whispered. "Yes, the same lion that devours goats and even hunts men. The chief has offered a great reward to whoever can kill it." Uche's heart pounded. He had heard the stories of the lion, a beast with golden fur, eyes that glowed like fire, and a roar that shook the heavens. It was said to guard the sacred grove, a place no one dared enter. But in that moment, Uche saw an opportunity. If he could slay the lion, perhaps the village would finally see him as more than just an orphan. That night, while the village slept, Uche crept out of his small mat hut, armed with nothing but a small knife and a pouch of roasted maize. The forest loomed ahead, tall and dark, its trees swaying like spirits in the wind. But Uche was not afraid. He had learned the ways of the wild from watching the hunters. As he ventured deeper, he heard the distant growl of the lion. His heart raced, but he pressed on. He followed the broken branches and deep paw prints in the earth until he reached a clearing bathed in moonlight. There, standing atop a rock, was the mighty lion. Its golden mane glistened, and its eyes locked onto Uche. The boy trembled but did not run. He knew he was small, but he also knew the power of wisdom over strength. Uche remembered the tales of the forest spirits, how they guided those who listened. He picked up a handful of dry leaves and tossed them into the air. The wind carried them towards the lion, and as they fluttered down, the beast's attention followed. With quick thinking, Uche grabbed a nearby vine and looped it around a sturdy tree branch. Then, using his small knife, he cut a piece of rawhide from his sandals and laid it on a rock near the vine trap. He then made a sound like a wounded animal and hid behind a tree. The lion, curious, stepped forward. Its massive paws pressed against the rawhide, and as it sniffed the air, its foot slipped on the slick surface. With a mighty roar, it stumbled, and in that split second, Uche yanked the vine. The loop tightened around the lion's leg, and before it could react, it was suspended mid-air, roaring in fury. The next morning, the villagers were awakened by a sound they had never heard before, a lion's roar, but it was weaker, struggling. They ran to the edge of the forest and gasped in amazement. There stood little Uche, leading the captured lion, its golden mane now covered in dust, its mighty form subdued. The village chief, an old man with a beard as white as the morning mist, stepped forward, his eyes wide with shock. "How did you do this, child?" he asked. Uche, still catching his breath, told them of his journey, his trap, and how he had used wisdom instead of brute strength to capture the lion. The elders murmured in approval, and soon the entire village erupted in cheers. From that day on, Uche was no longer the forgotten orphan. He was Uche, the brave, the boy who had tamed the lion of Benbe. The chief invited him to live in his compound, and the villagers, once blind to his struggles, now saw him as a hero. But Uche never let his new status change him. He still helped the old women carry firewood, still played with the children, and still shared his food with those who had less. He had learned that true greatness was not in strength alone, but in wisdom, kindness, and the courage to believe in oneself. And so, the village of Benbe never forgot the tale of the little orphan boy who faced a lion and won. Strength is not always about size, but about wisdom and courage. Even the smallest among us can achieve greatness if they believe in themselves. Kindness and humility are what truly make a hero.